All right, so you guys know, welcome back to another Dreski video. You guys know the last video we literally went insane. Um, the luck was ridiculous. We got, I got everything you could ever ask for on an account. Look at this. We got Raven, we got Tever, we got Mateo, we got Xuan Pin. We also ended up pulling a Lewis, which I'm going to, rezo him real quick, as you guys know. And that is for his Rage Avatar, which is the A3. We got. I do want to build him a little better. I want way more crit rate on him. I mean crit damage on him. Way more crit damage. But we also pulled the Phantom Sisters. That gets them to A2. Each has a 50% chance of inflicting miss rate up on a target for 2 turns. Miss rate is a really decent debuff. Really like it. So yeah, 2 attacks, 50% chance to inflict for miss rate up to 2 turns. Miss rate up for 2 turns, sorry. And grants you defense up. Really decent ability there. And then once you get this maxed out, AP reduction takes effect in both hits. That's actually pretty decent. But oh shit, it moved them. But what we're here for, our shimmers, man. That, you know what I'm saying, bro. Y'all know what I just peeped. But I ain't even got to get into it, bro. We just gonna let that keep rocking. We got literally, she attacks one enemy 2 times. She may actually get a buff too, because a lot of people say that she's the worst shimmer. She may actually get a buff, so that would be pretty good if she got a buff. So attacks one enemy 2 times. Damage per hit, 50% attack. Each hit has a 50% chance of stealing 1 buff. Upon successful stealing, inflicts sear on the target. So I feel like if they just change this to where she has a 50% chance of stealing a buff on each hit, and inflicts sear, like, that would make it way better. So you won't have to steal a buff in order to inflict sear. We got attacks all enemies 2 times. Damage per hit, 35% of the attack. If the enemy is not buffed, is extra 30% damage. Pretty good damage if you could strip the buffs and do that. Pretty good damage there. The first hit inflicts buff blocker for 2 turns. Second hit reduces each enemy's max HP capacity. Reduction is 100% of the second hit's damage. So the second hit it'll be 50% attack per hit. I love to max out my shimmers, so usually I do start to prioritize my shimmers after I get them. We have dispel all debuffs from Raven. Attacks all enemies. Damage is 100% of the attack, which can increase up to 120% on 4-turn cooldown. Dispels all buffs from the enemy, or from the enemies that you're attacking, and inflicts defense down. So that's really nice there. With the ascension here, you end up having it to where it dispels all buffs from them. We already had that. Each buff dispel grants her extra damage. Extra damage is 2% of the attack. So each debuff gives you an extra 2% of the attack. Pretty decent there. We also ended up getting Tever here. I'm actually going to run a shit ton of Sonic Miracles before reset here, but Tever, man, we got Tever here. So We aren't going to read the A2. We're just going to get into it with the Ascension. Attacks one enemy, 100% damage, up to 130%, nothing but damage here. Inflicts Sear for 2 turns. Alright, we got attacks one enemy, does up to 230% extra damage on a 5-turn cooldown when it's max. It inflicts Nico Curse. Nico Curse, upon the carrier's death, the effect is removed, dealing damage equal to 100% of Tever's attack to all of the carrier's allies. That's pretty decent. We already know what Tever can do. You play against him, and when you do, you gotta low-key shut him down early, because if you don't, he will fuck you up. Like, he will wipe the whole team sometimes. So we're gonna look at on the Ascension. After attacking, if the target's HP is above 50%, cast the same ability on the target 1 time. If not triggered, gains 1 Nico Sense stack. Triggers 1 time per turn at the start of combat. It gains 2 Nico Sense attacks. Nico Sense attack here. Each stack increases Tever's crit damage by 15%. When stacks are max, reset all ability cooldowns and attacks the target twice the next turn, then removes all existing stacks. That's crazy, man. Crazy. We're gonna get into Mateo here. We got some stuff going on, man. He has a speed ability that's actually really nice. Increase ally speed in Ritual Miracles, Sonic Miracles, Desolate Lands, and Sentinel Hunt by 35%. That's actually a substantial speed increase there. So we have attacks one enemy 2 times. Damage per hit is 50% of the attack. Each hit has a 60% chance of dispelling 1 buff. Inflict Spark for 2 turns. Spark is when the carrier takes a critical hit, Mateo gains 5% AP and does extra damage to the target. Extra damage is 30% of Mateo's attack and won't miss, land a critical hit, or trigger an elemental boom. Alright, so we're not going to read the A2. So gains 3 stacks of Eternal Flame, inflicts Spark on 1 enemy for 2 turns, then attacks the enemy 3 times. Damage per hit is 60% attack, which each hit steals 1 buff. Upon successfully stealing, Mateo gains 3 stacks of Eternal Flame. Each speed grants extra damage, so you want to build them fast. Extra damage is 0.25% of the attack. Mateo gains 1 stack of Eternal Flame when getting healed. Eternal Flame plus 2% of attack with each stack, and minus 1% damage taken per stack. That's really nice, man. Eternal Flame stacks minus 2 whenever he takes a critical hit. Max is 20 stacks. So also inflicts Spark. But so if you pair him with Leora, she has a crit rate down. You pair him with a crit rate down to make sure that he never gets his Eternal Flame stacks taken from him. You could really do a shit ton of damage with him, man, and make sure that he will stay alive. Like, that's ridiculous. Really good Esper there. But let's get into the new one. We got Xuan Pin. I'm saying that correctly. So she has increased crit rate and point war knockout by 30%. Substantial. Alright. We have, of course, you guys, we read all of this in patch notes, but we're going to go ahead and go through it again. Attacks one enemy. Damages 100% attack. Grants 15% AP to all to allies with the horse and chariot buff. So we're not going to actually read the horse and chariot buff yet. Let's go into the A2. Grants one ally, selects one ally and grants them cannon for 1 turn, and 50% AP. So it gives him 50% AP and cannon. Dealing damage. Cannon is dealing damage, ignores 25% of defense. Gains stun when this effect expires. So when this effect expires, the person who has cannon, they will get stunned. I'm pretty sure that you can cleanse it though. But we also inflict defense down to all enemies for 2 turns. Damages 50% of the attack. It also dispels their shields. So that's nice there. And let's go into the ascension here, because I do got to run this stuff we got to get some stuff to level up. But we have attack, grants 2 turns of attack up and 1 stack of soldier to all allies. Grants horse to 2 allies with the highest attack for 2 turns. Attacks all enemies. Damage is 70% of the attack. Deals true damage, deals extra true damage. True damage is 10% of enemies' max HP up to 100% of Xuan Pin's attack. Inflicts miss rate up for 2 turns. At the start of combat, gains general and grants 1 stack of soldier to all teammates, excluding herself. Okay. So let's read some of this stuff that we can read, and then we're gonna go back and see if we can see the whole thing. But chariot, it's indispellable, 10% of, or plus 10% attack, plus 50% speed. Grants 1 stack of soldier when this effect expires. Okay, and then we got horse. It amplifies damage dealt. So it goes to the people with the highest attack. So it amplifies their damage dealt. And the higher the target's max HP, the more damage is amplified, up to 100%. Up to 25% against non-player units. So I'm assuming that, like, if we use this in Point War or something, it's up to 100%. But if we use it against bosses and stuff, it's only up to 25%. I guess they want to make sure that you don't just melt bosses. This effect does not work when the target is at an elemental advantage. Okay, so you got to make sure that you're at an elemental advantage before you use that ability there. Let's go. Let's open up this so we can see more. Oh wait, I didn't know you could move that. Okay. General, when Xuan Pin attacks, calls 1 random teammate with soldier to assist and grants them 1 stack of soldier. Clears horse, cannon, chariot, and soldier from the ally upon death. And soldier is 1% of attack per stack. When this effect is at full stacks, it converts into chariot for 2 turns. Cannot gain soldier while having general or chariot. Max is 5 stacks. So once you get 5 stacks, which is 5% extra attack, it'll convert into chariot, which will give you 10% extra attack and 50% extra speed. But then it converts back to soldier once that effect expires. So you'll have 2 turns of chariot, then it'll go away. It looked like you always got buffs up with her on the team, so you will always have buffs. Really nice, man. Really nice. Let me see what, and that is on a 4-turn cooldown. Really nice. 3-turn cooldown for the A2. Really nice abilities here. We have a 4-turn on his ability. 3-turn on the A2. That is nice. And for Raven, we have 4-turn. And we have a 3-turn. So decent cooldowns there as well. But that was just me going through the characters that we ended up getting. This ended up being a longer video than the opening, but really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to go ahead and level these espers up, grind out some Sonic Miracle because it is currently Shimmer. So I'm going to go ahead and knock that stuff out right now. Try to get as much done as possible. But I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always... No! Wait!
He should have hit the like button.